We are here to talk about the books you simply must mark on your want to read list on Goodreads, on Storygraph, that are releasing in June, July, and August. So far this year, we have had some heavy hitters, some new favorite books that have come out. But you know what? My eyeballs are ready to read more. My eyeballs and my brain are ready for new favorite books. We will of course start with June. If you're looking to add another Shadow Daddy to your collection, might I recommend A Forgotten Dawn by Laura A. Blake. The tagline for this book is "Where lies are currency, the price of truth is blood." Okay, high stakes. This book has fae trials. Our main character, Bryda, will do anything to save her father. She's armed with a forged invitation and enrolls or makes her way into these deadly fae trials taking place. This is a deadly contest to break even the strongest of fae. I think that the MMC's name is Danon. He's the enigmatic Prince of Shadows. And of course, he takes notice of our FMC Bryda. Betrothed to her most dangerous rival and a master of secrets himself, Danon sees through her every deception. His dark allure stirs something within her, sparking a forbidden attraction that could either ruin her or become her greatest weapon. Then we have Robin on the Oak Throne coming out. This is by K.A. Lind. The first book was A Wren in the Holly Library. This book, monsters have taken over New York City, and there's kind of this truce between humans and monsters. And by monsters, I really just mean like magical beings. Kierce is our main character. She is a street thief, and she's tasked with breaking into this brownstone to get into this library to steal something specific, and she gets caught by this monster magical fae, MMC, who is within his legal rights to kill her because she has broken the human-monster treaty. Instead of killing her, Graves does the unexpected and he offers her a job, a chance to find out who she really is. Kierce has always known she's different. She can do things a little better. She has abilities. And so her and Graves basically go on a heist together. If you like high stakes, if you like urban fantasy, if you like magicness interwoven in there with some magic special powers that make thieving extra sneaky and fun, this was such a fun, fast read. The audiobook was incredible. I cannot wait for book 2 because where we left with Kierce and Graves was a massive, massive turning point. It doesn't necessarily end on like a cliffhanger, but you know that everything is going to get turned on its head, which is really fun. Okay, I have already read this book, and I can confidently with my whole entire chest say that it's one of my favorite books of the year so far, and that is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by B.E. Schwab. It is toxic, sapphic vampires. I'm so invested in these characters. It has like really horrific elements to it. It kind of reminds me of the emotional impact and kind of storytelling of Addie LaRue because it takes place over such a long period of time. You follow some of these characters for centuries and catch up with them. It is 3 perspectives. I can't stop thinking about this book. I had my friends order a special edition of this book for me because I couldn't help myself. I'm going to purchase it when it finally gets released, like a basic copy as well, so that I can annotate it. It was perfection. I loved every second of this arc. You need to read this book. 6 out of 5 stars. Loved this so much. Everybody needs to read this. If you didn't already have this marked on your want to read list, I'm gonna do it for you. Speaking of sapphic, this next book as well is sapphic, perfect for Pride Month. It's coming out in June. A Treachery of Swans by A.B. Poranek. This is the same author that wrote Where the Dark Stands Still. This is a Swan Lake retelling. We're in a world where magic has been outlawed. Our main character knows that she will be the one to restore magic in this world. She has been raised by a sorcerer, and she's been preparing for the heist of a lifetime. She's preparing to impersonate a princess. She's gonna break into the castle and force the king to do what she needs him to do. But when the king is unexpectedly murdered, she's forced to recruit the actual princess, and things just start to go crazy from there. I also feel like this author tends to write more like dark types of settings. I can't freaking wait. And then this last book is a complete swerve from the others that I have for June, The Saltwater Curse. This is by Avina St. Graves. Now, I was first introduced to Avina St. Graves through an unhinged late night book talk scroll. She wrote a Grim Reaper, just like super spicy, fun time read called Death's Obsession. It's incredible. If you haven't read that one, I would highly recommend it. If you're looking for just like a palate cleanser, spicy, fast book, like I said, absolutely read it. That's what The Saltwater Curse is going to be, except this isn't a book about death. Our main character had to flee her husband. She was in a not so great marriage with a criminal, and she had to flee his criminal empire and their criminal family. So she murdered him, and then she runs away to Bali. The tagline says, she's used to looking over her shoulder, but nothing could prepare her for the monster that lurks beyond the shore. Sharp claws, grasping tentacles, krakens are real, and their king has decided that she's to be his bride. Listen, I dabble in monster romance. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it. I've also never read a kraken romance, but Avina St. Graves, the writing was so good and had me so obsessed in Death's Obsession that I'm really excited for this next book to come out. Now, moving on to July. This first one, okay, Elise Kova has 2 new book series coming out this year. One of them is much later, I think in the fall, in September. I want to say September or October, but she also has one coming out in July, and it is called Arcana Academy. It is a dark academia book. I believe this is adult. And Elise Kova, I mean, I loved her Air Awakens series. I've read YA from her before, but the fact that she's writing an adult, I'm so obsessed because I love her writing style so much. It's a dark academia romantasy. We have a fake dating / fake engagement. We have a woman who wields magical tarot cards, and she finds herself entangled in a fake engagement with the headmaster of a magical school. Clara is our main character. She has survived the underworld of the Eclipse City through thievery, luck, and a whole lot of illegal magic, but she gets caught and she is sentenced to a lifetime in prison because she was inking tarot cards, which is a rare power reserved solely for practitioners at Arcana Academy. The headmaster shows up. His name is Prince Kalis. Okay, Prince. Okay, not a prince being the headmaster. He offers her an escape for a price. Kalis believes that Clara is the perfect tool to help him steal a tarot card from the king and use it to recreate an all-powerful card long lost to time. So many of these books are kind of like heisty. Okay, slay. I'm so excited for this because Elise Kova does incredible things with her magic. If you haven't read the Air Awakens series by her, it's one of the best elemental magic series I've ever read, and I'm so incredibly excited for this like dark, thievy, underworld, dark academia type setup. And when I think of tarot cards, I think of like One Dark Window, but I feel like the vibes are going to be very different for these 2 books. I am so excited. If you've been around for a while on this channel, you know that I love Scarlett St. Clair. And Scarlett St. Clair is very well known for her Persephone and Hades retelling series, A Touch of Darkness. She is hitting us with another retelling series, and this is going to be for Lilith. We have Terror at the Gates coming out in July. This is the first book in a new planned series called The Blood of Lilith. Oh my gosh, even just the first sentence. I would put this in my own words, but I don't think that my own words could do it the justice that this is giving. Lilith will rise from the ashes of her former life to destroy the ancient power that stole everything she loves. She is peace and chaos. She is terror knocking at the gates. She's estranged from her powerful family. She uses her magic to steal for a living, attracting the attention of the 5 governing families as well as the church, which expects women to remain pious and silent. When Lilith comes into possession of a beautiful blade, she thinks all of her worries are over until her usual buyer dies while inspecting it. Frantic, Lilith turns to the only man who can help, Zahariv, head of the Zareth family and ruler of Nineveh. His power is extortion, though he's always had a soft spot for Lilith, but when the dagger appears, he isn't sure he can protect her from what's to come. Together they embark on a mission to discover the true power running through their world. We have the next book in the Sparrow Falls series coming out in July. I desperately need to catch up and read Beautiful Exile by Catherine Cowles. These covers are so pretty as well. Like, look at this one. And look at this one. They're gorgeous. I love the color scheme. This one has the single dad trope. Our FMC, as they do in this series, moved to Sparrow Falls to become anonymous, leave her old life behind. They're running from something. These are romantic suspense books. They are so good. It's such a good balance between romance. Typically, they're both dealing with a lot of trauma, especially the women in these books are dealing with a lot of trauma and usually a very toxic situation that happened with another man. And the way that they just like heal each other and come together is so freaking cute. And then her new beau ends up usually dealing with all of the drama of whatever man she was trying to run from. And so in this one, Trace Coulson, he sees too much and he asks too many questions. And his protectiveness is as infuriating as it is alluring. But Trace has his own demons, and when they collide with mine, the fallout could destroy us both forever. We don't know the situation that she's running from, but these do get a bit dark. So I would check content warnings if you would like to start with this series. The first book is Fragile Sanctuary. I gave it 5 stars. I literally loved it so much. I am going to play catch up so that I am ready for book 5 to come out in July. And then these final 2 for July are sequel books to series that I'm so excited for. So we have Wrath of Dragons coming out, which is the sequel book to Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, the book that took the book community by storm. When we were craving more dragon books, Olivia Rose Darling said, "Bestie, I got you." This is also a heist book. This one is. I don't know about the second book. I haven't read the summary for it yet, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to because I like to go in knowing literally nothing. I like to go in blind. But Princess Eowyn, we follow her in Fear the Flames. She has a secret kingdom. She's kind of in hiding. She's hiding her identity. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Eowyn hates her father, hates her kind of family. And so that's why she's been in hiding, and she teams up with her father's enemy, and they're iconic. If you want a relationship to just be completely and utterly obsessed with, I promise you it will be Eowyn and Caden. Their banter is so good. Another story where like they help each other heal a little bit, especially Caden helps Eowyn heal some of her trauma. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And the dragons, we left on such a massive cliffhanger at the end of this book that I cannot stinking wait for the sequel. It's going to be incredible. And then the other sequel that we have coming out in July, which will be our final book for July we're talking about, is Thorns and Fire. One thing about Helen Scher is if you're looking for an author who gives you release date after release date, this is a new series, and Iron and Embers came out earlier this year. It has to do with like a poisoner and her like bodyguard. Oh my god, they're so good. If you haven't read Blood and Steel by Helen Scher and the Legends of Thesmar series, definitely please go read that. This is the Ashes of Thesmar series. Iron and Embers is the first book. So in this series, if you haven't heard of it before, we follow Ren Embervale. She is an alchemist turned assassin. She's going through some dark times. She's going through some dark feelings. When an unknown form of alchemy is used to attack a king of the war-torn Midrealms, Ren is charged with finding a cure for the new strange poison. She's offered a place at an ancient alchemy academy, and she must claim her spot by conquering the gauntlet. Yet the biggest threat of all might come from the man assigned to protect her, Tor Elderbrock. Any and every bodyguard romance, give it to me and give it to me now. Thorns and Fire at the end of July, I believe. Moving on to August. I'm gonna start with this one. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first book, but I love Carissa Broadbent. So the next book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, book 4, is coming out in August. The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. This is a vampire romantasy world. The spices. If you're looking for something, again, like super fun, spicy, really iconic vampire world with crazy gods and lots of conflict, this might be for you. First book in this series is Serpent and the Wings of Night. Then we have Theory of Dreaming coming out. What is it with dark academia books in the summer, y'all? I don't know what it is, but it's feeding my soul. Also, I'm just really ready for Halloween. I am fully in Summerween mode. So anyways, that's why so many of these books have been dark academic. A Theory of Dreaming is the second book to A Study in Drowning, and this is by Ava Reed. These are YA that has a very folkloric, dark setting, It has to do with fae. It has to do with like very traditional fae lore. And everything about these books feels cold, damp, eerie, creepy. The fae in these books are not romanticized. They are the big bad. They're very creepy. The audiobook for this was incredible. Let me give you a summary for the first one if you haven't read this yet. Our main character's name is Effie. She has always believed in fairy tales. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the fairy king. She's only found solace in the pages of Angharad, which is Emrys Midden's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the fairy king and then destroys him. Effie really holds on to that like comfort story, relatable queen, as she's studying at university at an architecture school. So when Meriden is the author of this book that she loves. So when Meriden's family announces a contest to redesign the late author's estate, she feels certain that this is her destiny. Haraith Manor is basically a crumbling castle on the edge of a cliff that is being flooded and like taken over by the sea. So not the easiest project for a girly pop that's in school studying architecture. But when Effie arrives, someone has already made a temporary home whose name is Preston, a stodgy young literature scholar, and he is determined to prove Effie's favorite author is a fraud. So they're like kind of academic rivals, but as they stay at this creepy, decrepit, damp, crumbling castle on the edge of the sea, they're learning more and more about these fairy tales and sort of like the dark side of the fairy tales. The ending of this is so open-ended. Like it's one of those where you're like, wait, what does that mean? That it's very exciting. We are getting a second book. And then the final book I'm gonna mention for August is Guardians of the Dawn, Yuli. This is the third book in the Guardians of the Dawn series. The first one is Zara. These books are by S.J. Jones. This is a YA fantasy series. If you like Sailor Moon, these books are Sailor Moon in a book. The battle scenes in this are so good. There's evil taking over the world. These guardians are being reawakened in these teen people. These books have LGBTQIA plus representation. There's like some romance incorporated in these, but it's much more fantasy with a slight hint of romance. It's more just these guardians of the dawn being awakened to fight these demons. The monsters are incredible. Like I said, the battle scenes, the conflict is incredible, and I cannot wait to read Yuli. I actually have an arc of this and I've been meaning to get to it. So I'm going to try to get to it early so that I can give a review for this incredible, incredible series. I'm actually gonna mention one more that comes out in August. I wasn't gonna mention it because it's kind of silly goofy, but you know what? I saw this and was so excited. If you watched Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost and were obsessed with the Hex Girls like I was, there's a book coming out called The Hex Girls, A Rogue Thorn by Lily Mead. I've never heard of this author before. It's a YA. This book is like 250-ish pages, but it sounds so cool. It's basically the Hex Girls moving to Coolsville. Can Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Inc. gang solve the mystery surrounding the goth rockers before someone gets hurt? It's just like a spin-off or like an addition to the Hex Girls story within the Scooby-Doo world, and I am so excited. I literally was just talking about how I'm in the mood for like dark, spooky books. I am fully in Summerween mode from June 1st. Today is June 3rd when I'm filming this. Like I want books like this. I want like spoopy, like silly, spooky books, and then I also want some like dark academia, dark books that are gonna freak me out. Please let me know if you're adding any of these to your want to read list. Please let me know if you have some of these already added on your want to read list. If you have any new releases that you think would be incredible, please let me know in the comments down below. I will catch you down there, and I will see you in my next one very soon, friends. Toodles!